Yeah, good morning everyone. Today we are going to start a new unit, microwave tubes. What is mean by microwaves and what is the usage of microwave tubes? Just you need to remember microwave tubes are electron guns. Microwave tubes are electron guns which are using for generating linear beam tubes. Microwave tubes are electron guns for generating linear beam tubes. Linear beam tubes. Just you need to remember microwave tubes are electron guns for generating a linear beam tubes. And a microwave tube generates and amplifies higher frequencies in the microwave range of frequency spectrum. A microwave tube generates and amplifies higher frequencies in the microwave range of frequency spectrum. When a microwave tube is energized, when a microwave tube is energized, the electrons are emitted from the cathode and are focused on the control grid. When a microwave tube is energized, the electrons are emitted from the cathode and which are focused on the control grid. Which are focused on the control grid. So in that we have a klystron. So what is the usage of klystron means? A klystron is a specialized linear beam vacuum tube. A klystron is specialized. A klystron is specialized linear beam vacuum tube which is invented in 1937 by American electrical engineers, which is invented in 1937 by American electrical engineers, Russell and Sigurd variant. Russell and Sigurd variant, which is used and amplifier, for high radio frequencies, from ultra high frequency up to in the microwave range. So a klystron is a specialized linear beam vacuum tube which is invented in the 1937 by American electrical engineers Russell and Sigurd variant, which is used as an amplifier for high radio frequencies from ultra high frequency up to in the microwave range. I think you need to remember the microwaves are a form of electromagnetic radiation. Microwaves are a form of electromagnetic radiation with wavelengths. What is the wavelength for microwave? What is the wavelength for microwaves? Which is ranging from above 1 meter to 1 millimeter. You need to remember that in the first class itself. We already studied this. The microwaves are a form of electromagnetic radiation with wavelengths ranging from above 1 meter to 1 millimeter. So which will be in the form of wavelength. Let us assume if you want to represent a signal into in terms of frequencies means what is the frequency range of microwaves? With the frequencies between 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. You need to remember 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. Okay, just you need to remember that. And we have different sources which are defined different frequency ranges as microwaves. And the above broad definition includes both ultra high frequency and extremely high frequency bands. Just you need to remember. This is also we already studied from the first class it seems. Okay, a more common definition in radio frequency engineering is the range between 1 to 100 gigahertz. Is range between 1 to 100 gigahertz. Let us assume you have microwave signal. If you want to represent your microwave signal in terms of wavelength, that wavelength between 0.3 meter to 3 millimeter, or else 3 millimeter to 0.3 meter. So in all cases, the microwaves include the entire super high frequency band up to, you need to remember the super high frequency band 3 to 30 gigahertz. Or else if you are representing your signal in terms of wavelength means that is 10 to 1 centimeter. Okay. So the microwaves includes the entire super high frequency band at minimum. Right? Minimum. Just you need to remember the microwaves are a form of electromagnetic radiation with wavelengths ranging from about 1 meter to 1 millimeter. If it is in frequencies means with the frequency between 300 to 300 gigahertz, 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz. We have different sources, right, which are defined different frequency ranges as microwaves. The above broad definition includes the both ultra high frequency and extremely high frequency bands. Okay. Just you need to remember this slide you need to remember. Then, and the frequencies in the microwave range are often referred by the IEEE radar band designations, which are already know it from the first class it seems. We have different kinds of frequency bands and these designations. But we have S, C, X, K, U, K or Ka bands are by similar NATO. NATO means you know it, North Atlantic Treaty Organization or EU designations. EU designations. And the prefix micro in microwave is not meant to suggest a wavelength in the micrometer range. Micrometer range. Rather, it indicates that microwaves are small, which means that which have short of wavelengths, which is having short of wavelengths. Okay, it indicates that microwaves are small compared to the radio waves. And the radio waves used prior to microwave technology. And the boundaries between far infrared, terahertz radiation, microwaves, and ultra high frequency radio waves are fairly arbitrary and are used variously between a different field of study. And the boundaries between the far infrared, terahertz radiation, microwaves, and ultra high frequency radio waves are fairly arbitrary and are used variously between a different field of study. Microwaves travel by line of sight. Just you need to remember this is the application. Microwave travels by line of sight. Unlike the lower frequency radio waves, they do not diffract around hills which follow the earth surface as ground waves. The microwaves travel by line of sight. Unlike low power or lower frequency radio waves, they do not diffract around hills which follow the earth surface as ground waves, which reflect from the ionosphere. So terrestrial microwave communication links are limited by the visual horizon to about 40 miles. 40 miles means 64 kilometers. Each mile is 1.4 kilometer or 1.3, almost around 4 or 5. Okay, 1 mile is equals to 1.5. Sometimes more than 1.5, 1.6 or 7 like that. We will get it. 1 mile is equals to, which will be reflected from the ionosphere. Okay, at the high end of the band, they are absorbed by gases in the atmosphere. We have limiting practical communication distances to around a kilometer. We have limiting practical communication distances to around a kilometer. The microwaves are widely used in modern technology. For example, in the point-to-point communication links, wireless networks, a microwave radio, relay networks, radars, satellite and spacecraft communication. So where we are using these microwaves means we are using in the modern technology. For example, in the point-to-point communication links, wireless networks, microwave radio relay networks, radars, satellite and spacecraft communication. So in those applications and in those areas, we widely used these microwaves. We know the applications, right? So you need to take best examples for that: radar, in the satellite, in the spacecraft. So we are using widely these microwaves. These microwaves. Just you need to see some of the applications also. So where you have to use. So in the medical applications like cancer treatment. So in the remote sensing we are using. In the radio astronomy we are using. The particle accelerators also we are using. Spectroscopy also we are using. Industrial heating purpose. Collision avoidance systems. Garage openness, keyless entry systems. And for cooking for in microwave ovens. So all these applications we already studied in the first class, it seems, or in the first class only, right? Just you need to remember all these applications. Okay, just you need to read out all this. What we have and where we are using here microwaves. Just you need to remember. Okay. Then electromagnetic spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum is the range of all types of EM radiations. The range of all types of EM radiations. Electromagnetic radiations. What is my radiation? Radiation is energy that travels and spread out as it goes. The visible light that comes from a lamp in your house and the radio waves that comes from a radio station are two types of electromagnetic radiations. Radiation is energy that travels and spread out as it goes the visible light that comes from a lamp in your house and the radio waves that comes from a radio station are two types of electromagnetic radiation. Coming to the electromagnetic spectrum, it is the range of frequencies. Frequencies means the spectrum. Spectrum means frequency bands. Okay, the electromagnetic spectrum is the range of frequencies of electromagnetic radiation and their respective wavelengths and photon energies. So in the electromagnetic spectrum, what we have? We have electromagnetic radiation and we have their respective wavelength and energy of photons. So all this we have in the electromagnetic spectrum. Spectrum is nothing but which is a graphical representation. Just you need to remember, we already studied the AC. So in that we already discussed it. We have a frequency spectrum, or amplitude modulation spectrum. All we already studied in the analog communication. Okay, how to represent the spectrum. Okay, and the microwaves occupy a place in the electromagnetic spectrum with frequency above ordinary radio waves and below infrared light. Microwaves occupy a place in the electromagnetic spectrum with frequency above ordinary radio waves and below infrared light. Below infrared light. You need to see the electromagnetic spectrum. I think you know it. What is the wavelength for ultraviolet? What is the visible light wavelength, frequency, photon energy? All these we will getting from the electromagnetic spectrum. So in the spectrum, we are going to representing the wavelength, frequency, photon energy. Okay. So in that, mainly we will focus on only microwave, wavelength, frequency, photon energy. So just you need to see that table, electromagnetic spectrum. So in this, let us assume if you have a gamma wave, if you have gamma ray, the wavelength for gamma ray is less than 0.02 nanometer. And the frequency of gamma ray is greater than 50 hertz. And the photon energy for gamma ray is greater than 62.1 kilo electron volts. And coming to X-ray, the wavelength for X-ray is 0.01 nanometer to 10 nanometer. Between that, whatever the range you require, if you take means, let us assume if you have 1 nanometer wavelength signal means that will be related to X-ray. If you have a frequency range for 30 to 30 hertz means picohertz, so which relates to X-ray. If you have a photon energy 124 kilo electron volts to 124 electron volts means which will be relates to X-ray. If you have an ultraviolet signal, the wavelength for ultraviolet is 10 to 400 nanometers, and the frequency for ultraviolet signals is 30 to 750 terahertz. Next, photon energy for ultraviolet is 124 to 3 electron volts. Coming to visible light, if we have a wavelength 390 to 750 nanometers means which will be relates to visible light signal wavelength. If you have frequency range 770 terahertz to 400 terahertz means which will be relates to visible light frequency range. And the photon energy for visible light is 3.2 electron volts to 1.7 electron volts. Next one is infrared. The wavelength for infrared is 750 nanometers to 1 millimeter. And the frequency for infrared is 400 terahertz to 300 gigahertz. And the photon energy for infrared is 1.7 electron volts to 1.24 milli electron volts. Next, our main focus on this microwave only. Why means we are discussing only microwave engineering. We are now in this in it we are going to discussing microwave tubes. So what is the wavelength for microwave signal is 1 millimeter to 1 meter. You need to remember, or you need to keep your mind this, the wavelength and frequency and photon energy for microwave. The wavelength for microwave is 1 millimeter to 1 meter, and the frequency range starts from 300 gigahertz to 300 megahertz. This is relates for golden days. Nowadays, most probably the microwaves are will have minimum 1 gigahertz frequency range. Okay, 1 gigahertz. So in the olden days, we have some megahertz signals also act as a microwave signals. Okay, nowadays the microwave will start from 1 gigahertz. Okay, most probably. Coming to photon energy for microwave is 1.24 milli electron volts to 1.24 micro electron volts. Coming to radio signal. So the radio signal, all this you need to remember. This is the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, you need to keep your mind. So the radio signal or the radio waves have wavelength of 1 meter to 100 kilometers. So why especially the radio waves having more wavelength than other signals or other waves means the radio signals will be travels long distance. The radio signals will be using for long distance communication. Okay, so because of that reason, this will be traveling so far distance. So in the olden days, we don't have mobile phones. We have only radios. So how we'll know the information means with the help of radio signals only we'll know the information. So how will we get this radio information means that these signals will be traveling from here to some miles of distance, some far away distance. Because that reason we'll get exact information from some 4 kilometers. Okay, and the frequency range for radio waves are 300 megahertz to 3 kilohertz. Okay, 3 kilohertz to 300 megahertz. Coming to photon energy. So 1.24 micro electron volts to 12.4 electron volts. Okay, so all these are the electromagnetic spectrum. Just need to remember. So in this table we have 6 electromagnetic. In this table we have 6 kinds of signals: gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet, visible light, infrared, microwave, radio. So apart from this, we need only microwave. Why means according to our syllabus, we are going to discussing only microwaves. So for comparisons, we will discuss the remaining also. Okay. Coming to propagation, how to propagate these microwaves, how to travels these waves. So we already know it. The microwaves are travel with the help of line of sight paths, unlike lower frequency radio waves. So they do not travel as ground waves, which follow the contour of the earth, or which reflect of the ionosphere, or else let us assume that you need to call skyways also. These microwaves travel by line of sight paths, unlike lower frequency radio waves. They do not travel as ground waves, which follow the contour of the earth or reflect of the ionosphere. Also need to call skywaves. Although at the low end of the band, they can pass through building walls enough for useful reception. Enough for useful reception. So usually the rights of way clear to the first Fresnel zone are required. Therefore, on the surface of the earth, microwave communication links are limited by the visual horizon to about 30 to 40 miles. So in terms of kilometers means 48 to 64 kilometers. Just you need to remember the microwaves travel by line of sight calls, unlike lower frequency radio waves. So they do not travel as ground waves, which follows the counter of the air or reflect the ionosphere. Although at the low end of the band, they can pass through the building walls enough for useful reception. Usually, the rights are way clear to the first personal zone are required, which means that therefore on the surface of the earth, microwave communication links are limited by the visual horizon to about 30 to 40 miles. 30 to 40 miles. This you need to remember. And the microwaves are absorbed by moisture, and the microwaves are absorbed by moisture in the atmosphere, and the attenuation increases with frequency, and the attenuation increases with frequency, becoming a significant factor at the high end of the band. The microwaves are absorbed by moisture in the atmosphere, and the attenuation increases with frequency, which become a significant factor at the end of the band. At the beginning, above 40 gigahertz, atmospheric gases also begin to absorb the microwaves. So, above this frequency, microwave transmission is limited to a few kilometers. Beginning at about 40 gigahertz, let us assume, atmospheric gases also begin to absorb the microwaves. So, above this frequency, microwave transmission is limited to a few kilometers. Let us assume a spectral band structure which causes absorption peaks, at specific frequencies, which means that see at a graph at right point. A spectral band structure causes absorption peaks at specific frequencies above 100 gigahertz. The absorption of electromagnetic radiation by its atmosphere is so great that it is in effect opaque. This means that until the atmosphere becomes transparent, again in the so-called infrared and optical window frequency ranges. Infrared and optical window frequency ranges. Coming to troposcatter. Coming to troposcatter. So in the troposcatter propagation, when a signal is aimed towards the troposphere, some part of the radio signal is scattered back to the earth. Some part of the radio signal is scattered back to the earth due to forward scattering in the troposphere. Just you need to remember in this scatter propagation, when a signal is aimed towards to the troposphere, some part of the radio signal is scattered back to the earth due to the forward scattering in the troposphere. So this returning signal, this is received by a receiver at the other end. This returning signal is received by a receiver at the other end. This troposcatter technology uses particles that make up the Earth's atmosphere as a reflector for microwave radio signals. as a reflector for microwave radio signals. Those signals are aimed just above the horizon in the direction of the receiver station. Those signals are aimed just above the horizon in the direction of a receiver station. In a microwave beam directed at an angle, in a microwave beam directed at an angle into the sky, a small amount of the power will be randomly scattered as the beam passes through the troposphere. In a microwave beam directed at an angle into the sky, a small amount of the power will be randomly scattered as the beam passes through the troposphere. A sensitive receiver beyond the horizon with a high gain antenna which is focused on the area of the troposphere can pick up the signal. A sensitive receiver beyond the horizon without a high gain antenna which is focused on the area of the troposphere which can pick up the signal. This technique has been used at frequencies between 0.45 to 5 GHz in tropospheric scatter communication system to communicate beyond the horizon a distance up to 300 kilometers. This technique has been used at frequencies between 0.45 to 5 GHz in tropospheric scatter communication system to communicate beyond the horizon are distances up to 300 kilometers. So the next one is antennas. Just see so inside in this antenna we have both transmitter and receiver. Why means you are going to transmitting the signal through the antenna. So at the antenna end point we have a transmitter which will be transmit the signal for long distance from here to long. Okay, so if you have a transmitter and receiver at both ends of your antenna, so it means that the scatter wavelength of microwave allow omnidirectional antennas for portable devices to make very small, from 1 to 20 centimeters long. So micro frequencies are widely used for innovator. Just you need to remember wireless devices such as cell phones, cordless phones, wireless LANs, accesses for laptops, and Bluetooth earphones. And the antennas used include short whip antennas, rubber ducky antennas, sleeve dipoles, patch antennas, and increasingly the printed circuit inverted F antennas. Not only you represented here, you need to see this printed circuit inverted F antennas which are used in cell phones. This printed circuit inverted F antennas are used in the cell phones. What is meant by inverted F antenna? An inverted F antenna is a type of antenna which is used in wireless communication, which consisting of a monopole antenna running parallel to a ground panel, a plane, and a grounded at one end. It is consist of a monopole antenna running parallel to a ground plane and grounded at one end. And the antenna is fed from an intermediate point, a distance from the grounded end. And which is designed has two advantages over a simple monopole. The antenna is shorter and more compact, and the impedance matching can be controlled by the designer without the need for extraneous matching components. Extraneous matching component. And the short wavelength also allow narrow beams of microwaves to be produced by conveniently small high gain antennas from a half meter to 5 meter in the diameter. Therefore, the beams of microwaves, therefore, the beams of microwaves are uh, used for point-to-point communication links and for radar. And the advantages of narrow beam is that they do not interfere with the nearby equipment using the same frequency. And which is allowing the frequency a reuse by nearby transmitters. We have different kind of antennas. We need to take one example for that. Let us assume we have a dish TV's parabolic antennas, which are most widely used directive antennas at microwave frequencies But horn antennas, slat antennas, and dielectric lens antennas are also used. So most probably in the dish antennas or parabolic antennas are the most widely used directive antennas at microwave frequencies, but horn antennas and slat antennas and dielectric lens antennas are also used. And coming to flat micro strip antennas, which are being increasingly used in consumer devices. The flat microstrip antennas are being increasingly used in consumer devices. So the another directive antenna, practically at microwave frequencies, is the phased array, a computer controlled array of antennas which produces a beam which can be electronically steered in different directions. Assume that at microwave frequencies, the transmission lines which are used to carry lower frequency radio waves to and from antennas. At microwave frequencies, the transmission lines which are used to carry lower frequency radio waves to and from antennas, such as coaxial cable and parallel wire lines, have excessive power losses. So when low attenuation is required, microwaves are carried by metal pipes called waveguides. So such as we are using coaxial cable and parallel wire lines have excessive power losses. Power losses is nothing but attenuation only, right? So if we have coaxial cable and parallel wire lines means we have excessive power losses. So when the low attenuation is required, microwaves which are carried by metal pipes called waveguides. Are called waveguides. Due to the high cost and maintenance, and maintenance requirements of waveguide runs in many microwave antennas. In many microwave antennas, the output stage of the transmitter, the output stage of the transmitter, the RF front end of the receiver, which is located at the antenna. Due to the high cost and maintenance requirement of waveguide run in many microwave antennas, the output stage of the transmitter or the RF front end of the receiver is located at the antenna. Coming to design and analysis. So how to design the microwave tubes and what is the analysis we are going to follow. The term microwave also has a more technical meaning in electromagnetic in electromagnetics and circuit theory. The term microwave also has a more technical meaning in electromagnetics and circuit theory. The apparatus and techniques may be described qualitatively as microwave. When the wavelengths of the signal are roughly the same as the dimensions of the circuit. When the wavelengths of the signals are roughly the same as the dimensions of the circuit. So the lumped element circuit theory is inaccurate. So the lumped element circuit theory is inaccurate, and instead distributed circuit elements and transmission line theory are more useful methods for design and analysis. So for designing the microwave tubes and for analysis purpose, we are using distributed circuit elements and transmission lines theory. These are more useful methods for design and analysis. As a consequences, we have in the practical microwave circuits tends to move away from the discrete resistors and inductors which are used with the lower frequency radio waves. As a consequences, we are getting in the practical microwave circuits, which tends to move away from the discrete resistors, capacitors and inductors, which are used with the lower frequency radio waves. Lower frequency radio waves. So in the open wire and coaxial transmission lines used at lower frequencies, which are replaced by wavelength and strip line. Open wire and coaxial transmission lines are used at lower frequencies, which are replaced by waveguides and strip line. And lumped element, which are tuned circuits, are replaced by cavity resonators or resonant stubs. Cavity resonator and resonant stub. In turn, we have different turns in the relates to electrical technology. At even higher frequencies, where the wavelength of the electromagnetic waves, becomes small in comparison to the size of the structure which is used to process them. Just need to remember where the wavelength of the electromagnetic waves becomes small in the comparison to the size of the structure which are used to process them. Microwave techniques becomes adequate and the methods of optics are used. Methods of optics are used. Just you need to see the different microwave sources. Different microwave sources. Just you need to see what are the different microwave sources we have. These are the figures. These are the figures microwave sources. See, this is the cut wave view inside the cavity magnetron. This is the cavity magnetron, which is a cut away view inside the cavity magnetron, which is used in microwavens. And we have antenna splitter. Antenna splitter, which is microstrip technique, becomes increasingly necessary at higher frequencies, which is represented in the right side. Just you need to see these two diagrams. These are the microwave sources. So here we have cavity magnetron, right? This is the cavity magnetron inside view. The cavity magnetron is a high powered vacuum tube. This is the high power vacuum tube that generates microwaves. This is generates microwaves using the interaction of a stream of electrons. Using the interaction of stream of electron with a magnetic field while moving past a series of open metal cavities, which means that cavity resonators. Which means that cavity resonators. And the electrons passes by the opening to these cavities and causes microwaves to oscillate within this. Okay. And next, microwavens. The best example is the microwave. The microwave is an electric oven that heats and cooks food by exposing it to electromagnetic radiation in the microwave frequency range. This includes polar molecules in the food to rotate and produce thermal energy in the process known as dielectric heating. And the microwavens heat foods quickly and efficiently because excitation is fairly uniform in the outer 25 to 30 millimeter of homogeneous high water content food items. High water food items. Okay, high water food items. Next one is the what we discussed here. Micro strip. The micro strip is the one of the type of electrical transmission line which can be fabricated with any technology where a conductor is separated from a ground plane by a dielectric layer known as the substrate. And the micro strip line are used to convey the microwave frequency signals. And the microwave strip line are used to convey the microwave frequency signals. Microwave frequency signals. Coming to high power microwave sources. The high power microwave sources are uses specialized vacuum tubes to generate microwaves. These devices operates on different principles from low frequency vacuum tubes, which are using the ballistic motion of electrons in a vacuum under the influence of controlling electric or magnetic fields. And which includes the magnetron, which is used microwavens only. The magnets are used in microwavens. Klystron, traveling wave tubes, and Gaitron. All these devices work in the density modulated mode rather than current modulated mode. This means that they work on the basis of clumps of electron flying ballistically through them rather than using a continuous stream of electrons. At low power microwave sources, which are used solid state devices such as the field effect transistor, tunnel diode, gun diode, and impact diodes. So all these are low power microwave sources. All are low power microwave sources used devices. And we have low power sources available as benchtop instruments, a rack mount instrument, embeddable module, and in chord level formats. A MASA is solid state device which is amplifies microwave using similar principle to the laser, which amplifies higher frequency light waves. So all these forms objects emit low level microwaves, black body radiation depending on the temperature. So in metrology and remote sensing, microwave diameters are used to measure the temperature of objects or terrain. The best example that is the sun and other astronomical radio sources such as Cassiopeia emit low-level microwave radiation, which carries information about their makeup, which is studied by radio astronomers, which are using receivers called radio telescopes. Radio telescopes. So this is up to microwave sources. The microwave sources we already studied in the first class, it seems. Microwave uses also we already studied in the first class, it seems. So in the microwave uses, just we forget it about the cavity magnetron and microwave and microstrips. So these three we already studied just now. Okay.